Side Charles Davis, and Charles, the Bills have been a team trending upwards the last few years. They did take a couple of devastating losses to KC in the playoffs the last 2 seasons, but here they are seeking that elusive first ever Super Bowl title.
And remember the history of this franchise, partner. They had been there 4 times in the 90s. Super Bowls 25, 26, 27, 28 without a victory. Somewhere, their quarterback, Jim Kelly, their runner, Thurman Thomas, their head coach, Marv Levy, they have to be smiling watching this team go for their first Super Bowl title.
Meanwhile, for the New Orleans Saints, what a ride this year under Dennis Allen. He takes over for Sean Payton, instills what seemed to be a new sense of purpose in his players, and they find themselves in the big game for just the 2nd time in franchise history.
Partner, you got to tip your hat to them because we remember that string of really tough playoff losses. But how about this franchise persevering? They had a sensational draft, an even better offseason, and they gelled as a unit, and now they have a chance to hoist the Lombardi Trophy for a 2nd time.
This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude, and I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to, and he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed, and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handled winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things. And then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team their best chance to win.
On play action, now Carr. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 37-yard line. A give to Kamara running right. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. To throw his Carr. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Throwing now is Carr. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Von Miller drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. Blake Gillikin on a punt here as he'll send this one away. Back deep, Nyheim Hines. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Here's Allen. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the 1st down. To the air, Allen. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Allen's throw is complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first ever catch in a Super Bowl, a nice moment, and also a 1st down. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Marked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now this time, Allen will throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And this is going to be another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 33. That one goes for 24 yards. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. A lot of bodies there in the middle of the field, and that one intercepted.
Yeah, he's looking for his tight end running a drag route across the field, and normally you'd like him to work a little bit further outside. Here the throw is a little early, and it winds up in the hands of the defender.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They're going to look to throw. Downfield, and he's got Olave. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the 1st down. Now the Bills will take another timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Kamara gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter play. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Carr. Flush to his right. He finds his man complete. That's Perry. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The Saints passing game in sync and moving the football. It's a 1st down. Now to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. And now move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Carr. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. From 4 yards out. And the Saints post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Hines opting not to risk it, and this will come out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2? All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. 2nd straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. He'll get this one underneath to Kamara. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a 2nd player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determined.
Touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas from 10 yards out. And the Saints continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 14-0. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Taken from about the 12. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. Escaping the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
To throw again on second down. Allen. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for them. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Kamara up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Carr. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Saints are feeling good as they extend their lead in this Super Bowl. Looks for the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On first down, Allen. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender. But the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
Play action. Now it's Allen. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Allen going to go on 4th down. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. Carr now on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Touchdown! Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Saints are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl. Lutz good on the extra point. And it is 28-0. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Pulls it in at the 13. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing. Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Throwing on first down is Allen. Right back to Davis. It's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A big completion there against double coverage. And Charles, one of those guys had a pick on him earlier. Yeah, so he didn't allow that to deter him at all, did he? In fact, it probably was a challenge. Okay, you got to pick me for? It's my turn now to make the big play. And that's exactly what he did. Allen looks to throw on second down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points in the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender. Again, they'll throw with Allen. He will find Diggs in the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. Stephon Diggs in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bills are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. They're just going to run it here up the middle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Open man downfield is Davis. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That one goes for 30 yards. Hey, you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
That's quickly out wide to Davis. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. Now Allen. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he will not be able to get the first as he can get this only down to the 5. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Bills are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You could say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
On 1st down, Carr. And going deep for Hill. It's caught at the 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. Taysom Hill, 53 yards. And the Saints will extend their 3rd quarter lead here in the Super Bowl. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns in 21. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Pulls it in at the 13. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation.
He's got a man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Allen. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the two teams by far, and that's great complementary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnover. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 93. Throwing now is Carr. And it's caught. Touchdown, Saints. Taysom Hill, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Saints are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Lutz good on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Allen. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. 25 yards that time.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Cook up the gut. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Allen's throw going to be caught by Davis.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the Super Bowl. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Allen, and he's got it. Got his man on the in route, complete.
Allen to Diggs there for a Buffalo 1st.
Cook. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Defense really sold out there to stop the run. Understandable down near the goal line. Now on 2nd down, you have to wonder, might we see play action here and a flip right over the top?
Yeah, he's got it. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Allen. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure.
And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Bills get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
46 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Trying to run down some clock with Kamara.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, 2nd down.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Now they'll throw with Carr. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown. And the blowout continues. Wants to try to add the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do they...
He's got a man complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Well, this will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And going deep for Hill. And got his man complete.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Carr going to look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
And the Lombardi Trophy is headed back to the Bayou. The New Orleans Saints, Super Bowl champions. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.